Hello world, you're watching 80s Music Twin Ranked. I'm Joel.
I'm Chris.
And today we're doing the Outfield. Yes, I know what you're wondering. We haven't yet done Madonna, Prince, Whitney Houston, and now you're saying the Outfield? How are they better? Well,
that's just three people. I go through a lot of lists.
Just look at us. This is music we were into. We're ranking them based on what we like, and we don't really care about those. Even though they were really
They'll be on our list eventually.
Yep, stick around.
Okay, you just mentioned three. They're up there, but they're, Men at Work, Culture Club, Cyndi Lauper. There's a lot.
There's a lot. Again, we're doing the 80s for a reason. There's a lot out there. But anyways, today is the Outfield. And supposedly it was a trio, but when you watch their videos, they sure looks like a five-piece band to me. Even the original song, the only one you hear today is Your Love, right?
Well, it wasn't the original. The first one was...
Well, Say It Isn't So,
yeah.
right? But I mean, the one you hear all the time, Your Love. You watch the video, there's 5 people in it. There are 2 guitar players, both of them look like they're brothers. And then there's a keyboard player. Do they have keyboards or just...
keyboard is just a session musician.
Yeah, and then he looks like Stevie Wonder because he's got the sunglasses on. He's like...
I always thought Tony Lewis is the leader, but he really isn't. He's the lead singer. Really,
John Spinks.
John Spinks, he's the one that wrote all the songs, really.
Now, we mentioned last week, Tony Lewis died a couple years ago, 2020.
Yeah, and I thought he was the first. I did not realize
John Spinks died 2014. So both of them right in...
John Spinks was 60. Tony Lewis was 62.
Yeah, so we're doing the Outfield, but we could actually say we're doing the Angels in the Outfield.
That's...
The drummer's not...
Now, when you and I would like this tidbit that the reason they came up with their name...
Yes.
...is John Spinks liked the movie The Warriors. He liked the one gang, which were the Baseball Furies.
That was the best band. Right?
Yeah.
And is that the one that... no, that was...
I would think it was one at the park because they're the
I think it was at the park.
Bats.
It was on the... They were wearing the pinstripes from the Yankees. It was not the roller skating one.
Yeah, because I think the roller skaters had bats too.
Yeah, and you don't... Now, do you hear the title? They're in the credits. So if you want to know the names of these club gangs in New York, they were in the end credits that they would put, the Baseball Furies. And then you knew, oh, that's the baseball team with the baseball bats. You didn't know when they were fighting them, that's what they were called. The Lizzies, you did.
Yeah.
You mentioned them. But, yeah. So there's one tie. They were called, what, the Baseball Boys, based on the Baseball Furies.
Yeah. And then they were going to change it to something else, and I know somebody suggested the Outfield. Now, here's the thing. They don't have baseball, I guess, in the UK. It's American thing.
So they had to study on it.
And when they came here, they kind of learned it. So, and they said it's a bigger spectacle. In the UK, it's not. They're not.
I wonder if that's what ruined
showy.
them. I wonder if that ruined them in the UK, because if you notice, all the stuff that got ranked here, nothing.
Yeah, they were big here.
Way bigger
not
here.
big in
Because the
UK.
Outfield, obviously baseball is an American thing. In the UK, they had 3 ranked hits, and none of them cracked the top 40. I forget which one was the biggest hit, but yeah, so they weren't big there, they were big here. They sounded like an American band.
Yeah,
American.
They're an American band impersonator.
Right. So, I read a quote that one of them thought they were trying to make it a car stereo friendly version of Rush.
Yeah, well,
they sound like Rush.
They had a couple songs that were 61 seconds.
Yeah,
and what was the other song? There was another song on the first album. I can't remember. 61 seconds for sure. Anyways.
Yeah. So, and I bought that album. So those 3 groups I mentioned, Prince, Whitney Houston, Madonna, never bought any others, but I did buy the Outfield, Play Deep.
But their first album, Play Deep, 4 big hits.
4 big hits.
And then the next one, they had a pretty good, decent.
I liked that
first
song.
Hit.
Yeah, and then
What the heck happened after that? It's gone.
Yeah, even the other hits, the ones that ranked, I don't ever remember hearing Voices of Babylon on the radio.
I always compare them to Mr. Mister.
Right. But they had more, obviously.
Hooters is up there.
But when Diamond Days came out, though, For You, I remember on the radio all the time. So really, if you were to say which songs you remember on the radio, there was like 6 of them. And then there was a bunch of ranked. I'm like, I don't remember that. But that's the reason. Now they do have some movie ties, other than the Warriors.
Yeah, a lot of songs that they took to put
Right.
into a movie.
Now one
I don't know
hot
if they
country.
did they actually make a song for
I
it?
don't know. Now one hot country was not. I don't think it was on the Greatest Hits. I don't remember if it was before that, but it was in
The movie If Looks Could Kill with Richard
Grieco,
Grieco, which
okay.
we've mentioned before. I don't know if it was
Right.
on one of the videos we just put about the movies.
So
Possibly.
Richard Grieco, he was in that movie, but he had his start on 21 Jump Street.
Yeah.
Same as Johnny Depp, who was in Nightmare on Elm Street. And if you cross-reference all those things, the girl who was in the Video Your Love, the one painting, she was in Nightmare on Elm Street #2 as a girl on a bus. Probably that bus that's on the rock and everything is around you.
Okay.
It's stuck. So she's in that. She starred she was one of the main sisters on the TV show Just the 10 of Us, right?
Yeah.
And her sister was played by Heather Langenkamp.
Who was the
Who was in
original Nightmare
Nightmare
on
on
Elm
Elm
Street?
Street. But she does it. Fun facts. So I don't know if any of the other girls in their videos were anything, but that's the movie tie there. They have a song. They do. Okay, Since You've Been Gone. The location. Now, most of that video is black and white, except for the things they're standing on or their instruments, maybe, right? Colorful. Except that area was one of the scenes shot in Full Metal Jacket.
Oh, okay. I like it because that's the one where they were on shapes, and
Right.
triangles and thing, and
Yes.
a square and a circle. I think also one would become red.
Yeah.
and hop around.
Now, I do. One thing I like about that video is they have that section where there's no drums and the guy's just twirling his drumstick for a long time. I can't twirl drumsticks even though I'm a drummer. Can you twirl drumsticks?
No, I never could.
No, we mentioned probably back when we did Rush. Neil Peart knew how to do twirl, so big money. What's another one? Now, Winning It All. You may have heard Winning It All because back in the 90s it was a big hit that got played during the NBA Finals. Actually, I think it was played on the NBA Finals for 4 straight years.
You're big in sports. I'm not as big, so I wouldn't know this.
It was also the theme song for the Olympics around that time. So 92 is my guess because every 4 years, 88 for sure was the year for Olympics, and then so 92 would have been the next. And it also was at the end of the Mighty Ducks. So there's another movie. I think there was something else movie-wise, but I can't think of it. I'll look when we click.
So this album came out in 1985,
good year.
which is why we say it's the best year.
A lot of good
Knock it out.
debut albums, or
Now,
at least big hits.
Tony Lewis got married in 1985.
Okay.
And been married until he died. So he died in 2020. So he's married for 35 years. So I looked it up and I saw a website that said her age is 35. Oh, so you married her when she was nipping? Like, you idiot. Yeah, some people do. Well, we do that too.
Is that on Wikipedia?
No,
Anybody,
it's something else.
anybody can edit Wikipedia.
It just cracks me up when we make mistakes and we try to put up how we're stupid.
That'd be a bad one.
He was married to a 35-year-old. No, he was married for 35 years.
Yeah, so Voices of Babylon supposedly was one of their bigger hits. Do you remember that on the radio?
I do not.
I don't either. I actually don't like it because of just the topic. Like, we all go back to the river we all came from, which is obviously an evolution thing. And we were all, these single-cell creatures.
And a primordial soup.
And let alone Babylon being a city of heathens. I'm sure it was a nice looking city because it had one of the ancient wonders of the world, right? The gardens.
Yeah.
So you got that going for it. Okay, so we'll get to our top 10 soon, but I did want to mention Voices of Babylon, right?
You did mention Voices of Babylon.
If you notice, you see the CD cover. And you got all those symbols. Apparently, it's script from.
Yeah, and they
back
said
then.
the 9 made Outfield. And I'm trying to see it, and I couldn't see it.
Well, apparently you have to eliminate one because
Yeah, I know. That's what I thought too. I'm like, wait a minute.
It's only 8 letters, so I think the center is a different color, so maybe that one's eliminated, and everything else spells out Outfield. Oh, you know, when you translate from one language to the other, it's not always the same amount of letters, so who knows. All right, so I thought that was cool. Bangin', you know, it's their second album. Bangin' has the gigantic. Is it the giant baby? Because you just see his legs stepping like he's Godzilla or something. Diamond Days obviously is a play off of their name, the Outfield.
Well, yeah. Well, their greatest hits, big innings.
Big innings, yeah, I like that.
It's
And then they
funny.
had extra innings. I put a line right here because after Rockeye, there's nothing. They faded.
Yeah, they did. Tony Lewis he put out a solo,
Yeah.
but it came out after he died.
After John Spinks died.
Oh, after Just Fix It? Okay, I thought it came out after.
It was after John Spinks died. Prior
Out in
to
the
his
Darkness?
death.
That was what it was called?
I can't remember. It's really memorable. But the songs they did put out,
they toured a lot. They kept getting, like the one drummer left, another drummer came in, but he came back later.
That is actually cool. I like who they toured with. I wish I would have saw one of the concerts back then. I don't know, because one of my underrated albums is Big Life from Night Ranger, and in 1987 is when they put their second album Bangin' out, and that's when they toured together. That would have been a good concert.
They opened for several people.
Journey,
who we've always
Starship,
pretty much everybody they did. We've already made a video.
just
for.
not Kiss. They didn't tour with Kiss. That was too far back. Okay. So I think that's everything.
There's not much good.
They unlike Mr. Mister though, they do at least have 15 hits that we can rank, but some of them weren't so good. We do agree what the top 10 is, so neither of us has an honorable mention. I will tell you what the next one would have been. Okay, so if we would have ranked 11, the next hit would have been "Bangin' on My Heart," which again I don't remember it.
Is that from the CD Bangin'? Probably.
Yeah, probably Bangin', and it was supposedly a release with airplay, but it never ranked, so we'll put that there. "No Surrender" actually is probably what most other people would say, thinking that was a hit, but I don't remember that one. It's really slow. Okay, so getting to the top 10.
Top 10.
Number 10 comes from Rockeye, and believe it or not, there are two from Rockeye. And this one is "Closer to Me," which both of us put it at 10.
And Rockeye was the album that it didn't sell well at all.
No. And by this time, the drummer stuck around for 3 albums. His name was Alan Jackman.
Not Jackson.
Well, I don't know. Not Alan Jackson, but Jackman. So I don't know if he's related to Hugh Jackman, the Wolverine. Probably not. Okay, but "Closer to Me." It's one of the few songs when you watch the video, you see John Spinks actually has a section that he sings.
Well, I remember the album you got. You own Play Deep.
Oh yeah. So I bought Play Deep.
That would be the album I get because it's got a lot of hits,
But
and I like the whole album.
I do have their greatest hits. Big Innings, I do have.
But I do remember one of the songs being sung by John Spinks.
Oh, by himself without Tony Lewis?
Yeah.
Well, "Closer to Me," Tony Lewis does sing, but John Spinks has the other section. And then there is a section where I didn't understand what Tony Lewis was saying. I was going to say Tony Banks. Tony Lewis says this one thing, and I'm like, did he say that? And I'm not going to say what I thought it was, but it's bad. Like, did he say that? I look it up, and it's like, and I thought it was "Can't Ya." It's like, but it's not even close to what I thought it was. His accent very much came through.
Freudian slip in your mind.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, well, just like that, "Wrapped Up in a Deuce." A lot of people think that's a bad word, but that's a different band. But just say there's a lot of songs out there you're like, did he say that? No, he didn't. It's just we heard it wrong. Okay, number 9 coming from Play Deep. Play Deep be the album you buy? Yeah, you said that. I bought it, so there we go. Number 9 would be "Every Time You Cry," which is a good song, just slow, so you heard it go.
That's why it's such a
down to 9.
list.
We actually both put it at number 7. So we got some songs that we disagree with, and that's why they're higher. But "Every Time You Cry," we both put it at 7. But there are a couple things I like about the song. Obviously, the one part where the guy does the
drums.
The drums at the end is the triple. Hard to do. You know, you're on 1-2 beat, and then it goes to the triple. It's harder. But it ends.
It
What?
comes in with the keyboards and it almost sounds like a choir.
Oh, yeah.
There's keyboards.
Right. Now you know what instrument ends the song, right?
Tell me,
A gong.
Oh,
Yeah. Duh, 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 duh.
that was one. Most of the songs I've heard of before. So
Okay.
when I go listen to them to rank them, I only listen to half the song. That's how I'm like, I know where I'm gonna put it.
Oh, so you didn't listen?
I listen to the entire thing to listen to.
But yeah, but I mean, you know the song. You've heard it on the radio, but it ends with the gong. Okay, so next one up, also coming from Play Deep. Number 8 is the song that won't stop playing on the radio, which is the reason it's down this far.
Yeah.
Play something else. Maybe this would have been higher, but everyone else would say this is their best hit. No,
Yeah.
it's not.
Some people would say they're one hit wonder. No, they are. You just never hear anything else.
Yes, this is Your Love. You have it at 6. I have it at 8. And we met a few weeks back. We talked about Mike and the Mechanics. How Long? Everyone thinks that's a song about adultery, and it's not. I wouldn't say this song's about adultery. It's about cheating. Which you didn't know it was about that.
Yeah,
so
I didn't realize.
Yeah, maybe that would ruin it for some people. They think, Josie Immer, that's his girlfriend. No,
That's
it's
what
not.
I always thought.
No, well, Josie actually is his girlfriend, but the person he's talking to, not his girlfriend. Okay, next one up. Voices of Babylon is the CD it comes from. Actually, the next two are both from Voices of Babylon. First one would be My Paradise. I have this at 5. You have it at 9. I like to start where it goes, yeah! So it starts with, I don't know, I think the video is shot in black and white. It's kind of cool though. You know, he's got several girls in it, cute girls, and then he's really skinny when he's dancing. You show him from the side dancing. He's like funny, like David Bowie. He's skinny. Well, I was gonna say something about My Paradise, dude. I can't remember. Anyways, but I think you said there were several songs of theirs that sound similar.
Yeah.
So Closer to Me, My Paradise, and The Night Ain't Over. I think I would group them as the songs that all sound alike.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
Kind of like Professor Rock just did Aerosmith.
Okay.
Like a week or two.
Yes!
And he had mentioned when we did, I don't know why we didn't say this, but those 3 songs that also
And Saturday Night Live did a skit.
Adam Sandler did it, and I
He
tried to
combined all of them.
Yeah, Amazing, Crying, and Crazy.
That would have been. See, that's back when again Saturday Night Live was funny. But that is hilarious that they all thought that it was the same. Okay, next one up from Voices of Babylon. If you don't know, they didn't put out too many hits. As a matter of fact, they might have it actually put 3 out. The Night Ain't Over is the other one that didn't rank with us. But it would be Voices of Babylon, which is another song I put lower than you because, again, the topic. You know, one's cheating, one's about heathens. They're lower for me. So this one I put at 9. You put at number 5. But, it is a cool song. It doesn't sound like everything. And what kind of, is that a keyboard? Do, 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 do.
We're always trying to guess what instrument people are playing.
Yeah. It doesn't actually sound like a radio song. All right, next one up, coming from Rockeye. So second one from Rockeye. This is the one that plays at the NBA Finals and Olympics. That's Winning It All. I have this at 4. You have it at 8, so you don't like this one. Again, you said you're not a sports person.
Yeah.
So it goes lower.
Yeah, I had a joke I told some people. You ever hear the saying, "You can't win them all," right?
You can.
You can, and it's called Undefeated.
That is pretty good. People say that, it's like, why not? I just thought I'd say that. Say that to make yourself feel better.
Yeah.
Okay, next 2 come from Play Deep again. So even though this is the album we get because it got the most hits on it.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily mean they're the best songs, but they're the most hits. Okay, so the first one is Say It Isn't So. So number 4, Say It Isn't So. I have it as 6. You have it at number 1. I'm going to tell you, This is not Hall & Oates, Say It Isn't So. So it shall not be number one. That was our number one
The
Twitter.
one I like the best. Say It Isn't So is his girlfriend when he found out, when Josie found out about the other girl. Say It
They're
Isn't
connected.
So.
Yeah, this one was this one was put out first.
Yeah,
So.
and then the next song probably, well, maybe.
No, I don't. I think Your Love might have came out last.
No, I'm saying that this is the chronological chronology of the story.
Gotcha.
Is it your love? Josie is away, and she finds out about it. Says, "Say it isn't so," and then she leaves, and he's like, "Yeah, since you've been gone." So those are
this. That wasn't on that album though. Okay, so this one actually, when it was out, it was on the radio. It had a video, but it never got ranked. So their hits didn't start until the second song, but it was their first hit supposedly, even though it wasn't ranked. Okay, next one, the last song from Play Deep, and that's either, it depends how you want to say it. I've seen videos where it's called All the Love, or it's called All the Love in the World, which I think it's that one because I had the cassette.
Yeah, it's All the Love in the World on the cassette. They probably changed to All the Love when they went to the compilations.
I knew you were going to do that.
Alright, edit. Okay, cut off that.
That's funny.
Finish the sentence.
Okay, but yeah, but like I said, I say this on lots of people's videos.
The funnest song.
The funnest song to play on the radio because you have after the chorus or whatever to go back to the next verse. And he does different things on each of them. So that's what I like.
Yeah, guitars. Is this one?
Yeah.
It's funny.
And in the video, it's got him chasing the girl around via TV.
Yeah.
She goes somewhere, TV comes on, it's him.
Yeah.
Again, that's called stalking.
He's stalking her electronically.
Right.
There was somebody who did that in the movie.
Is that
Like
virtuality?
Ghost in the Machine. It was called.
Oh, was it? Okay, gotcha. Not the Russell Crowe thing. Okay, I don't know.
No, virtuosity. Yeah,
I don't
a
know.
lot of movies like that.
Yeah, and back if you watch them now, you're like, wow, technology was different.
Oh yeah, some movies don't age because they have no idea. The Net with Sandra Bullock. They had no idea what the internet was like.
Nope. Okay, so that was number 3. Next one up, coming from Diamond Days, and I think this might be their only hit off of that album. That was after the drummer left, so they had another drummer they recruited, and this was For You. I have this at number 2. You have it at number 4, and this was technically the 90s, so I'm glad they were kept going. But this is a good song to hear on the radio.
Okay, generic titles. That's one of the things I read about is their songs are like, I want to say that bland, but well, that's kind of what you said earlier. That radio friendly is like,
Yeah.
Another way of saying they're snappy,
Right.
but or forgettable maybe.
Yeah.
Catchy chorus.
It's like movies here. Well, you just put your brain on this chair next to you and just enjoy the movie. Don't think about stuff. So I think Michael W. Smith had a song called For You. It was like a little bit, catchy or whatever. But this one's better. For You. And that means our number 1 song, the only hit from Bangin', and that would be Since You've Been Gone. That title, again, that's the title. That sounds familiar.
Is this your number 1?
This is my number 1.
Yeah,
Your number 2. Obviously, it wasn't your number 1 because you Say It Isn't So.
I know. I was way down here, so I figured since this is number 1, it must have been yours.
Yes, it's my number 1. Since You've Been Gone. And again, I don't know if the stick twirling did it.
Yeah. Nothing like Kelly Clarkson's.
Yeah, not like Kelly Clarkson's. And when the Cars did it, it's like Since You've Gone, not Since You've Been Gone. So
Since you are gone.
Since you're gone, just take that sentence and rephrase it different ways. There you go. That's somebody else's hit. All right, so that is our top 10 for the Outfield. Going a little bit faster because
there's not much
history or
a couple albums and then they're gone, just like Mr.
Yeah.
So,
but I don't know. And
were they a trio? They really didn't do anything out of Outfield. You know, like help other people out and session musicians or anything like that. And pretty much when they played, it was their band.
Yeah, and you know they were a trio, and then they didn't become a trio. Obviously, you know, they were two. How do you do that? You become two.
Because you have session musicians
Yeah.
playing the rest of the stuff.
Yeah. Anyways, all right. So that leads us to next week. Here we go. We get to do another woman again. Finally, it's been a while, and she just
Technically,
She barely
she's 90s.
cracked the 80s, yes.
Yeah.
But she was at the end of the 80s, so similar to like Richard Marx, right towards the end. She did get enough hits at the end of the decade.
Because of one album, right?
Yeah, pretty much. So she did less albums than Mr. Mister. Okay, Mr. Mister at least had 4 albums. She had 3, but they were huge, right? She has a lot of number ones. So yeah, that, and she has is she still doing that second career she had?
No.
You'll know her from TV too. So
Yeah.
yeah, before that she was into sports. Did you know that?
She's okay. I'm trying to think of a hint so you know who she is. She's not dreadful.
That's not a good.
That's not a good hint.
I mean, it doesn't help me, and I know who it is.
Listen, dog.
Okay, that's where you're going. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. The people she was with in her second career are possibly more famous. We've actually mentioned one of her coworkers in other of our videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there. All that, again, throw it at you. Hope you can guess it. That's next week. All right, till then, see ya. Bye.